Hello, dear students. Today we will discuss about the next topic, that is non-nutritive components of diet. Non-nutritive components of diet are those diet that provide nothing to our body. Those components that do not provide energy or calories. Roughage or fiber, water, colors, flavors, pesticides, residues, etc. are among tens of thousands of non-nutritive component of diet or food. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of non-nutritive component of diet that can be identified easily. However, there are also many non-nutritive components of diet that have been discovered recently. There may be thousands of cytochemicals which can both help us or harm us. Some of them are considered to check the cancer initiators or promoters in the body. The explanation of non-nutritive component of diet are, first of all I will tell you who all are the non-nutritive component of diet. First is fiber or roughage, water, color compounds, flavor compounds, and plant compounds. So these all are the non-nutritive component of diet. That means non-nutritive component of diet means they have these type of compounds have not any nutritive components, and they do not provide any kind of energy or calories to the body. Although they are a part of a diet, but it will not give you any kind of nutrients which beneficial or which are good for our health. It will only give the taste, the volume, and the flavor, the color to the food. There are thousands of non-nutritive component of diet and foods are there, and non-nutritive components of diet can be identified easily, and these are the cytochemicals compound which both sometimes it will helpful for our health, and sometimes it will harm us also. And there are many non-nutritive components of diets have been discovered recently. Some are considered to check the cancer initiators or promoters in the body. So, according to this, we have discussed about the 5 non-nutritive components of diet today, under which first we will discuss about fiber or roughage. Fiber or roughage has no nutritive value. Hence, it is included in the non-nutritive components of diet. It is the undesignated, the undigested part of the food, or it can be said that it cannot be digested by the human intestinal tract. It consists of water and improves intestinal function by adding bulk to food. It satisfies the aptitude. It helps to correct the disorders of large intestine. It prevents constipation. Roughage or fiber can be divided into two categories, that is, soluble and insoluble fibers. Soluble fibers can be dissolved in water, whereas insoluble fiber cannot dissolve in water. The soluble fiber reduces blood sugar fluctuations and lowers cholesterol. Insoluble fiber is a good stool softener. Usually, 30 grams of fiber is recommended for an adult per day. Both type of roughage or fiber are equally signified for human being. Fiber is helpful in decreasing the risk of heart diseases and in preventing certain types of cancer. Now we will talk about the sources. Whole wheat, fresh fruits, root, vegetables, oats, connective tissues of meat and fish are very good sources of roughage. So this is all about fiber. Fiber is having no nutritional value, and but still it is included in that's why it is included in non nutritive component of diet. Fiber is an undigested part of the food, and it can be said that it cannot be digested by the human intestinal tract. It consists of water and improve intestinal function by adding bulk to the food. It is only adding the bulk of the food. That means it will increase the quantity of the food. It will not digested by the intestinal tract, but it is good for it will satisfy our appetite, and it is good for our intestinal large intestinal disorder, because the fiber or the roughage will clean our intestines, because it is not digested by the intestinal tract. So it will clean the intestinal tract, and it will give the bulk to the food, and it prevents constipation, and it will give bounce to the stool, and it which is good for digestion. And roughage are of two types. It is soluble in water or insoluble in soluble fiber or insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber are those fiber who are soluble in water, dissolves in water, and non-soluble fibers are not dissolved in water. So the soluble fiber, the importance of soluble fiber are to regulate the blood sugar fluctuation and also lower the cholesterol, because they will absorb the fat, the cholesterol from the body. And the insoluble fibers are good in giving the stool, and it will softener our stool so that it will excrete properly, and you will not you may not face any problem uh, in excretion. Usually a common man, a adult, required 30 grams of fiber per day. Both type of roughage and fiber are equally significant for human body, for human being. It is helpful in decreasing the risk of heart and also preventing certain types of cancer. And where you get fiber and roughage? So you will get fiber and roughage from wheat, fresh fruits, roots, vegetables, oats, connective tissues of meat, fish, etc. Suppose I will give you an example. You are eating oranges, so what you will do? Instead of you taking juice of orange, you will try to take orange as a fruit, like try to eat orange instead of taking juice, because when you are eating the oranges, it will the juice you will that will juice will be absorbed by the body, and that the roughage will clean up your intestinal tract. Likewise, jaggery is high in fiber, so jaggery is very good. Oats. So these are the common things which are the example of fiber and roughage. Next is water. Water is also an essential component of diet. Even blood comprises 90% of water. Water in the blood helps in the transportation of the nutrients to various cells of the body. Water is also significant in the excretion of waste products. It also regulates the body temperature. Our body loses approximately 2% of our body weight as per day. We recover this loss of water by drinking water and by intake of food substances. Water also functions as a lubricant, keeps the skin moist, and protects the body from shock. Generally, about 20% of water intake comes from food, and remaining intake comes from drinking water. It is excreted from the body in various forms such as urine, feces, sweat, and water vapor in the exhaled breath. So this is all about water. So water is essential component of diet. Although water is having no calories, but still it is comes under nutritive and non-nutritive both. Water is a macronutrient, so because our blood is having 90% of water and our body is having 70% of water, that's why it is macronutrients, but it is having no nutritive value and no calories. That's why it is comes under non-nutritive component of diet. And the what is the work of the water? Water helps in transportation of nutrients to the various body cells. It is also significant in excretion of waste products. Water also regulates the body temperature, and we can lose 2% approximately water from our body per day. But we will recover this 2% by drinking of water and other sources of water, like whatever food and fruits we are taken, that is also consists some kind of water. So we will recover this loss by drinking water and intake of food substances. Water also work as a lubricant, and it is also keeps our skin moist, and it is protects us from shock. It will regulate our temperature, body temperature, and 20% of water intake comes from food, and remaining intake comes from drinking water. As you know, salads are having 96% of water. Watermelon is having 93% of water. Beans are also having 92% of water. Apple is having 85% of water. Potatoes having 80% of water. Banana 76% of water. Fish 55% water. Bread 36% water. Biscuits 27%. And butter 16% of water. So these food products are having different percentage of water according to their consistency, according to their value. So water, now we will talk about the excretion of water. We will excrete the water by various means like urine, sweating, feces, and water weapons in the exhaled breath. So these are the means by which water is excreted. So this is all about water. Now we will talk about color compound. Food or diet is made more appetizing and attractive by the wide reflection of colors made possible through pigments. Natural pigments are found in fruit and vegetables. The colors derived from animal products and grains are less bright. There are various colors derived from fruits and vegetables, such as red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and cream. So this is all about the color compound. Color compound is giving the colors to the food, which looks color gives the makes the food attractive and increase the appetite, because nobody wants to eat dull food or colorless food. If so, I will give you example of bottle gourd. If your mother is making bottle gourd like simply, so you will not going to eat it. But if she puts red color by tomatoes and green color by coriander, so it will look colorful, so you may gonna eat it. And likewise, if your mother is making non-veg, and you are very fond of non-veg, but your mother makes only just boil it with some salts and spices, and just you may not going to eat it because it doesn't look nice. So what she does, she will make some good masala and put some colors like red, and put some yogurt in this. So just make the gravy attractive so that uh, you will eat from your eyes first, then before mouth. So when you go to the pastry shop or bakery shop, you will see lot of pastries are there. So you will attracted by the pastries and all, because it will looks nice. So that's why it is quoted that you will eat from your eyes before your mouth. So the food will looks tastier, it will increase your appetite. So the color compounds, some color compounds are which are present in vegetables are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and cream. And some are artificial color compounds, which are strawberry, then mango as color. So these are the artificial color compounds, like you will see in ice creams and pastries and all. And some vegetable which are like vegetable source of color compounds are like capsicum. You have seen, you must have seen green, red, yellow capsicum, orange color, then green color, blue color, and cream color. So this is all about color compound. Now flavor compound. Flavors are derived from both nutritive and non-nutritive components of food. Sometimes it becomes very difficult to know the source of a specific flavor. An acidic food provides sour taste, while an alkaline one provides a bitter taste. So flavor compounds are comes or derived from both nutritive and non-nutritive, like vanilla essence or strawberry essence, all kinds of essence which added in your food, but it will not give you any kind of nutrient. It will just increase the flavor. So it they may not having any kind of nutritive value. It will not give you any kind of energy, like you've seen in the ice creams and pastries. The essence of vanilla, strawberry, butterscotch, it will comes by adding flavors, artificial flavor to the food. So the flavors are alkaline, sweet, sour, tangy, bitter, etc. Now we will talk about plant compounds. In addition to color compounds and flavor compounds, there are some plants which contain other non nutritive substances. When these substances are indigested, they may have beneficial sorry when these substances are ingested, they may have beneficial or harmful effects. There are many compounds that inhibit cancer. There are also a number of harmful substances in plant which have harmful effects if ingested in excess. I will give you the example. Caffeine is one of such example. If it is taken in excess quantity, then it may increase heart rate, secretion of stomach acid, lead to excessive urination. So, plant compound is addition of flavors and color compound, and these are beans, seeds. And for understanding this topic more efficient way, or for more understanding of this topic, I am attaching a video along with this. It may give you a help to understand this topic very well. So go through the video and listen carefully.
Why we are taking these components if they are not providing any nutrient? But it's not like that, children. Non-nutritive components are also useful for the human body, okay? Because many of phytochemicals are considered to check the cancer initiator and also decreasing the risk of heart disease and prevent certain type of cancers also, okay? So through this we cannot say that non-nutritive components are not useful for the human body, okay? Because some of them are helpful too. Clear? As you can see, there are many non-nutritive components written here, like fiber or roughage, water, color compounds, flavor compounds, and plant compounds. So we will go through this one by one, okay? First one is fiber or roughages. So children, fiber is basically the indigestible part of plant foods, or in simple word we can say the part of food which cannot be digested by the human intestinal tract, okay? So children, here I use one word, plant food, which is related to vegetable, fruits, grain, okay? Or we can say those food which we get from the plants is called plant food, okay? So actually it has no nutrient value, but it helps to keep our digestive system healthy and also satisfied our appetite, okay? Now we can see there are two types of fiber, soluble fiber and insoluble fiber. As we all know, soluble fiber can dissolve in water and insoluble fiber cannot dissolve in water, right? In this picture, you can see which food contains soluble fiber and which food contains insoluble fiber. So, children, basically the soluble fiber help to reduce blood sugar fluctuation, and insoluble fiber is a good stool softener. Actually, both type of fiber are equally beneficial for human being, right? Like fiber is helpful in decreasing the risk of heart disease and preventing certain type of cancers also. Okay. And the second one is water. As we all know, water is an essential component of diet. Even blood comprises 90% of water. And we know that it helps in transportation of nutrients to various cells of the body, right? And water also helps to maintain body temperature. See, children, actually 20% of water intake comes from food and remaining intake comes from drinking water, right? So children, as we all know, water excreted from the body in various forms such as urine, sweat, right? That's why we need to hydrate our body on regular basis. Okay, so there are many health benefits of drinking water, like better fat metabolism, decreases craving, flushes toxin from the body, healthier skin and complexion. Okay. Now the third one is color compound. See, it is also a non-nutritive component, okay? It is a pigment or we can say substance that impart color when it is added to food or drink, okay? See children, natural pigment are found in fruits and vegetables. They come in many forms like liquid, powder, gel, paste, okay? We use color compound to make our food more attractive and appetizing. Clear? And it also enhances naturally occurring color, protects flavor and vitamins from damaging by light, and also has decorative and artistic purpose, okay? Next one is flavor compounds. Flavor or taste is the perceptual impression of food. And aroma compound also as an adorant aroma, fragrance or flavor is a chemical compound. See children, Actually, flavor is the sensory impression of a food. Okay, it is determined by the chemical senses of taste and smell. Or we can say flavorant is defined as a substance that gives flavor and causing it to become sweet, sour, tangy. Okay. And children, flavor compounds classified into two groups. One who is responsible for taste and another one is responsible for odor. So, food compounds which are responsible for the odor of food item are called as aroma substances. Okay. Now the fifth one is plant compounds. It is also called phytochemical. There are many plants which contains non-nutritive compounds. Okay, so these compounds with varied chemical structures, like they are present in fruits, vegetable, nuts, seed. Okay, and main dietary sources of these compounds are tea, coffee, onion, soya. Okay, so students, there are many compounds that prevent certain type of cancer, and we can say it also help in decreasing the risk of heart disease. But some of them are harmful too if they are taken in excess quantity, like caffeine in coffee. It can lead to excessive urination. Clear? I hope this topic is clear to all, and if you still have any doubt, you can ask me.